David Monroe, your instructor for AEC 6905 Human Dynamics. Well, you're going to get to see a lot of me in a variety of different lectures, but here you get to see me in my office, right where I like to call AEC 6905 Human Dynamics Central. That's right, this is where all the magic takes place, but we'll get back to that in a second. What I want to do today is I want to welcome you to the class. I want to say I'm excited about having you, and I'm excited about where we're going to go as a class. Further, I'm excited about having all those perspectives shared. I think there's some real synergy that can come out of this class, and really it's going to be what you put into it as a vehicle to get out of it as much as you possibly can. Now, I want you to go on to Sakai and really engage in Sakai. Sakai is a great site. Worked with the CITT here at the University of Florida to create that, and that's going to provide you with a ton of different information to hopefully get everything that you need out of this class. I also want you to think about how you can post videos with using YouTube and get those up on the WordPress site. Now, this forum that you're probably watching this video on is a tweet forum, okay? And so normally what you would do to tweet is you'd go to Twitter and you'd pound out 140 characters. Well, it's a little bit different for our class. So I can view those all in one place. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to provide me with 140 characters of text and then a YouTube video either that you've made or that you've found that represents exactly what you're trying to communicate. I think that'll be a really interactive, interesting way to get people communicating their perspectives. In addition to that, our first one is our intro video. And so I'd like to give you a little bit of a synopsis about myself so you understand who your instructor is in the course. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. I lived there until I was 17, and then I made my way to the illustrious University of Toledo. Go Rockets. I did my undergrad there. I got it in communication. And then I moved on to what I thought was going to be my career, a career in student affairs. I was in housing, residence life. I know a lot of people who take these classes are in student affairs, so that's kind of a cool connection. But with respect to that, I thought that it was a great opportunity to try to hopefully make a difference in a student's life, but at the same time, be connected to that really cool university setting so I could always have those early adopter, new, innovative techniques and technologies and things like that at my fingertips. What I found while I was there is that I probably needed to go back and get more education. So I went to Texas A&M University, got my Master's of Science in Educational Administration with an emphasis in Student Affairs Administration. And from there, I went to John Carroll University, where I was an area coordinator, which means the person who's in charge of a variety of different residence halls. And so I was in charge of all the freshman ones. That was a great experience, but very quickly I realized that I was missing something. I was like, what am I missing? Well, what I figured out that I was missing was the leadership knowledge that went along with how to influence people and motivate them to do the things that I needed them to do in a given time. And so I decided to go back to school. I actually went back to Texas A&M, and I got my PhD in leadership studies. That's right, I was in the Department of Agricultural Education, just like you guys are right now. And so it was a pretty exciting time. I learned a lot about leadership, and hopefully I'll get to bestow some of that knowledge onto you guys during this class. Other interesting things about me is I've actually worked as a professor at 3 other universities. I worked at Gonzaga, I've worked at Fort Hays State University, and I even spent a little bit of time at Texas A&M. And so I got that going for me. Other interesting things about me is I coached volleyball for a number of years. I was absolutely passionate about the game. I still am. But I can't jump as high as I once did, and I definitely can't devote the time to coaching that I used to because, hey, I got to do this professor thing now. So I do miss that, but to fill that gap, I play a lot of golf. I love golfing. I'm also big into music. I love everything from alternative and country all the way to rap and blues and things like that. And so I'm really all over the map with that. And so if you ever want to talk music or anything like that, I'm definitely open for the opportunity. Other than that, my research involves the exploration of self-awareness and other personal competencies, things like emotional intelligence, critical thinking, things like that. And I believe that when we understand that, we can understand the people that we work with a whole lot more effectively. And so those two things lead to the idea of personal hardiness, and then personal hardiness ultimately leads to community resilience, which is what my main goal is, to drive community resilience in the different populations that I serve. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense to you. Please don't feel like you have to do a movie that's as long as this one, but hey, I figured I would give it to you, and I would give you a nice snapshot of everything we can do. So hopefully you've appreciated this. Give me a call if you got any questions, comments, concerns, or heartaches. And hey everybody, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day out there.
I was up in my head for everything I said.